As we've explored on the channel before, video games can have some particularly out-of-place audio hidden in places that you wouldn't expect to find. This is why today we're diving into the top strangest, most confusing hidden audio discoveries and mysteries ever found in a video game. Call of Duty World at War. I heard a rumor on the internet that Call of Duty World at War had some very haunting sounds hidden out of the bounds of the playable area. I also had heard that only in a particular spot out of bounds in the map Asylum, you could hear the screams of a woman and the cries of a little girl. Unfortunately, I've been searching the out of bounds for quite a while now, and it appears that this rumor can be confirmed as a load of horse. Whoa, wait a second. Guess that confirms that. For if you were to sit in the out of bounds in this exact spot, you can hear the screams plain as day. Nowhere in the normal boundaries of the map could I find a spot where this audio can actually be heard in the playable area of the game. My only guess was this was part of a cut section of the map, or Treyarch just genuinely wanted to mess with players curious enough to explore past the boundaries of the game. Either way, it's weird. Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption fans know Tumbleweed as the home to a number of strange mysteries and discoveries. One of the most common reports is the sound of disembodied voices that you can hear throughout the abandoned manor. It's been said that, wait a second, is that a gun sticking out of this door? And who the hell is this? Is that the ghost? Let's get in there. Oh, get him! Ooh. What just happened? Well, we weren't actually supposed to be able to get through that door, so I guess you could call that an out-of-bounds spot. If we actually glitch through to the other side of this door and not immediately get attacked upon entry for some reason, we can see that the entire room is filled with non-player characters. Well, that may have been a clever trick by Rockstar, but I think we found the source of the mystery Tumbleweed voices. Guild Wars 2. Players found that by brushing against a couple of random corn stalks in a random location in the game, it would result in some incredibly out-of-place, blood-curdling screams. To make matters much more mysterious, these sounds were patched out of the game in a later update. It ultimately feels as though we were never meant to hear these screams, which makes the whole thing a lot creepier. Jam Sessions. Jam Sessions for the Nintendo DS is a rhythm game like any other from the late 2000s that would have went largely unnoticed if it wasn't for the fact that it had this commercial.
Sponge cake!
That's not all it's remembered for, as players also found a very creepy audio discovery on the palette change menu. If you let the A6 string ring out uninterrupted for several seconds, you'll hear this. Forgive us. The only person I see needing to seek forgiveness is this little brat. Many players suggest that the audio was not intentional, that it's either muffled noise from the guitar or perhaps even Japanese accidentally left in from the original recording. The unexpected and somewhat sinister sound of its voice definitely scared the hell out of me the first time I heard it. Cuphead. Cuphead is a 2017 tribute to time-worn television cartoons. And just like a typical 1930s animation, it tends to feel bright and innocent while also relentlessly nightmarish and horrifying. None of that compares to this weird and disturbing unexpected audio that a very small portion of players encountered when they booted up the game, which didn't sound anything like what the main menu music was supposed to sound like. The reason these strange and unnerving sounds appeared for these players was because these players were actually thieves. And by that I mean they were actually playing illegal copies of the game. The audio is scripted and programmed to only trigger in the event that the game has failed to clear an authorization check, which would suggest that the game had been obtained illegally. On top of this, it's been found that by running the audio file through a spectrogram, which is a visual representation of the audio file's sound spectrum, you get this. Some players even claim if you listen closely to the audio in the background, you can hear the words "you stole" over and over. Hate to be one of the guys that encountered this. Half-Life. Thanks to Falco00P, who told me about this one on my Discord. The map labeled C2A2B2 in the debug is an optional area in the original Half-Life that can be completely glossed over in the normal game. For some unexplained reason, only in exact spots and areas of this map you can hear unusual sounds that can't be found anywhere else in the game. Another thanks to Mindkill Games, who also showed me on my Discord an even more terrifying audio mystery that can be found in the game files of the unreleased beta of Half-Life 2. The file is called Trans6, and reportedly it's actual audio from a transmission of a Russian astronaut who burned up in the atmosphere in her aircraft upon re-entry. Although the recording itself has been highly debated in the scientific community, it makes very little sense why a recording this disturbing would be hidden in the files of the Half-Life 2 beta, considering it never even made it into the final game. But then again, the Half-Life 2 beta was filled with terrifying things. Mario Kart 8. YouTuber Harm noticed that in the MKTV menu in Mario Kart 8, there was me dialogue in the background that sounded as though it could actually be reversed and pitched up audio of actual human dialogue. After digging through the files of the game and finding the me menu sound files, he confirmed his suspicions as correct when he pitched down and reversed the sound files as he initially thought. He came across a rather long, what appears to be field recording of a busy setting with lots of layers of talking human voices. At this point, however, I'm not sure how he managed to find this, but in the 40-minute sea of endless human voices in every direction, he managed to single out a particular voice in the flood of human chatter. Whoops, bet Nintendo wouldn't like that, nor the ESRB. In fact, this is yet another instance where if the ESRB knew of this slightly offensive piece of hidden content, they would still mandate the game get re-rated and box art altered in order to warn consumers of the near impossible to find content, just like they did with Halo 2 and multiple other games that I covered in my video Most Awkward Discoveries in Video Games. This means of course that Mario Kart 8 is definitely deserving of a retroactive adult language sticker. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please subscribe. If you know any other crazy audio mysteries or any other content that you want to see me cover, let me know in the comments down below. Shout out to AtkillGamer Mexicano, Caitlin LaCour, Dr. Love, Emery, I Fart in Elevators, J-Day, Conan Horseman, Pestlin Sleeper, Nest Dude, Nick Fade, Nick, Spencer, and Towerizer for their Patreon support. Stay tuned.